All right.
Здравейте, здравейте отново за последната презентация за деня. Днес имаме възможността да говорим с Джовани от Джон Кабот, който ще ни разкаже малко повече за възможностите за обучение в този чудесен американски университет. Искам да обърна внимание, че в чатбокса той е поснал своето календари, където можете евентуално да си направите индивидуална среща. Има още няколко слота за утре, така че възползвайте се от тази възможност, ако желаете. В чатбокса е поснато календара му за утре, където вие можете да си запазите индивидуална среща, ако желаете. Също така искам да ви обърна внимание, че ако искате да задавате въпроси по време на презентацията, те могат да бъдат на английски или на български. Ако зададете въпросите си на български, моите колеги Ивелина и Катя ще преведат накрая въпросите, които имате на Джовани, за да може той да отговори. При всички положения презентацията ще върви. Накрая ще имате възможност да ви бъдат зададени въпросите и съответно Джовани ще отговори. Giovanni, I think it's your turn now. You can start the presentation if you wish.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Skylines Group. I see the flyer. I absolutely love a study in Italy, and there's a man and a woman on a scooter, right? So that's usually on the Vespa, I should say. So that's the wonderful atmosphere and hopefully the fun experience that you'll be able to relive if you do decide to study in Italy. All right, so I'll introduce myself. My name is Giovanni. I am a former student of John Cabot University. I double majored in international affairs and international business, class of 2019. And I've been working as an admissions counselor for 2 years now. And I'm from Sicily. I'm actually not from Rome. I was born and raised in Palermo in the south of Italy. And I've been living in Rome for 6 years now in the beautiful Eternal City. So hopefully you'll get to ride your Vespa right next to the Colosseum, right next to the Pantheon. I look forward to making that come true for you. All right, so let's go back to the university. Like I said, I represent John Cabot University, which is the largest American university in Italy. We are located in Rome. As I was saying, we are a 20-minute walk away from the Colosseum, 25-minute walk away from the Vatican, with a very international community. Actually, let me show you. We have a little over 1,000 students coming from over 70 countries in the world. These are the percentages that are represented on campus. Here we are including our visiting students, and those are students who decide to spend a semester or a whole year at JCU. Without our visiting students, we're talking about a 35% American population, 25% Italian, the remaining from all over the world. What that means is that over 75% of our students at an American university in the heart of the Eternal City is not from Italy. So talking about international, a very international community. As you can see, we have a relatively small community, an average of 15 students per class. What this means is that the professors will know you by name. They're always very easy to talk to, always available. So feel free to ask them any questions you may have before and after class, of course. Now, you might be familiar with the American academic system. We'll be talking about that in a second. But first, of course, as they say, safety first. Because we're going through trying times, these are some of the measures that we've adopted to tackle the global pandemic. We have thermal scanning, hand sanitizing at the entrance of each and every housing and academic buildings. And of course, we've adopted a hybrid methodology of learning. So what this means is that our students will be able to take classes online through the platform that the university has provided them with, or physically, they'll be able to physically attend the class on campus, so inside the classrooms. And as you can see, I'm inside a classroom, right? So I am on the Guarini campus, inside the beautiful Guarini building. I'll be showing you some pictures of it today. And I decided to give you, the presentation directly from our campus. Of course, normally I would be in my office, but this is, like I said, it is the weekend. But this is also, further evidence that our facilities are still open, right? So right now we are going through the spring 2021 semester, which began at the, if I'm not mistaken, mid-January. And all of our students have been able to take classes online, but also physically on campus. As you can see behind me, there's chairs, right? So nothing to worry about. And if you do have questions regarding how classes are happening, perhaps a student's, let's say, weekly schedule, feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to have individual meetings, but also if you'd like to use the Q&A box, I'll be more than happy to answer those. All right, so moving on. As I said, I don't know if you're familiar with the American academic system, but it allows for plenty of freedom, plenty of room to play with when it comes to shaping your academic path. So I'll be talking about majors and minors today. What are majors? Majors are the main fields of your degree, while minors are the smaller fields in which you can specialize. And when we talk about majors and minors, you can combine them. So let's say there are people out there who have multiple interests. For example, as I said, when I was a student, I decided to study politics, which was something that I'd always been very, very passionate about. But then I decided to combine the international affairs major to the international business because I thought that politics and business always go hand in hand. So will you be able to do that? Absolutely, yes. Will it cost you more money or will it take you more time? If you begin your academic path at JCU with the idea that you would like to double major, that you would like to pursue 2 majors and perhaps 1 minor, or 1 major and two minors or 3 minors, the answer is absolutely not. So really, really easy. It will be just a regular 4-year program at JCU. Okay, so hopefully we have many, many people interested in that. Let's go into the academic offerings. As you can see, majors, we have 14 of them. We have divided them into 3 different macro areas. We have the area of business, area of social sciences, area of humanities, and classic studies. Now, for example, I always talk about the most popular ones. For example, you will find a lot of students that are currently taking courses of international business and economics and finance. For social sciences, I would say psychology has become a very, very popular major, as well as, of course, international affairs. And then humanities and classic studies, I would say art history and history. Something you will see on this slide, you see something that JCU is very, very proud of, and that is called on-site learning. When we say Rome is your campus, we really mean it. What does this mean? Let's say you're studying about ancient Rome, you're studying about, but even international business or international organizations that you can find in the capital of the Italian Republic, in the Eternal City. What our professors do is, let's say you're studying about ancient Rome, they will walk you outside of the classroom, go to the Colosseum, you will be studying about ancient Rome. From inside the Colosseum, you will be studying about the Vatican from inside the Vatican museums. So really something that we, like I said, greatly appreciate. And you see the professor you see on the slide is actually from the US, but they've definitely adopted the Italian lifestyle and the Italian gestures, right? So, mamma mia. So we'll be talking about that in a second when I show you the pictures of our student life, of course, but also the beautiful academic buildings that you will find in Trastevere. Something I should mention, a master's program. We also have a master's program in art history, as well as other master programs in Italian. And those, I would say, are pertaining to the fields of finance, tourism, management. There's marketing as well, but those are in Italian, okay? So I have to draw the difference. Let's go into the minors. We have 19 minors, but the ones that you will find not as majors are art and design. We have creative writing, entrepreneurship, for those who perhaps might be interested in developing business ideas. We'll be talking about the Institute for Entrepreneurship today. Or who, for those who are interested in law, perhaps who are thinking about going to law school, or perhaps even pursuing a master's program in law, we have a legal studies minor. and then mathematics and philosophy. Okay, like I said, any questions you may have regarding the specific major or minor, I'll be more than happy to answer those in the once the presentation is over in the Q&A box. Okay, so feel free to drop them. Okay, so as I was saying, regardless of what you would like to study, something you need to know is that we have a little over 900 internship and job opportunities with over 600, both Italian and international organizations. Now, the ones I'm about to list are all places where students work every single semester. When I'm talking about Rome is your campus, and when you get this, when we're talking about an American university with the hands-on approach, critical thinking, this is exactly what I'm referring to. So every single semester, we have students working at Associated Press for journalism, Bulgari, Coca-Cola, Ernst & Young, Hilton, IBM. And then, of course, we like to take advantage of the many international institutions which are located in Rome, in the capital. So, for example, we have students working at the Italian Prime Minister's Office, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the World Food Program, the Food and Agriculture Organization. Each and every semester, 2-3 students working for the US Embassy to Italy alone. Then there's a Peruvian embassy, French embassy. So plenty of opportunities. Okay, so moving on, something else I wanted to show you. Like I said, the Institute for Entrepreneurship. So if you do have a business idea or perhaps a social advocacy idea that you would like to develop, the Institute for Entrepreneurship will help you to do just that. Just to give you an idea, the Institute for Entrepreneurship is headed by Professor Silvia Pulino. Feel free to reach out to her. I'll be more than happy to provide you with her contact information. Professor Silvia Pulino is an entrepreneurship and a finance professor. She got her MBA, her let's say a graduate degree, so a master's program in master's degree in business at Harvard Business School. And for example, if you're interested in politics and international affairs, our Department of Political Science and International Affairs is headed by Professor Pamela Harris, who got her law degree, her JD, at Harvard Law School. Why am I telling you this? Because at JCU, you will find the world-class faculty, as well as, of course, the international community to enrich in your academic path. Okay, so very important. And when it comes to the Institute for Entrepreneurship, as you can see, they have different events and different, I would say, competitions that they organize. One of them is the elevator pitch. What students usually do is they present an idea. They have 1 minute and 30 seconds to present an idea, and they could get funds. If they win the competition, they'll get funds to develop and to work on that idea. And of course, the weekend of startups. I mean, if you get to develop this idea, if you think, or if the Institute thinks it's a promising project, we will have a whole weekend of startups at JCU. We invite companies to work on it. So very interesting. Just like I said, to name a few examples of what JCU is up to. Now, if you would like to make your international experience even more international, by paying the same tuition, you could spend 1 semester or a whole year all over the world. So we have partner universities in Japan, South Korea, the UAE, Lebanon, Egypt, Nigeria. Then in Europe, we have Norway, Ireland, France, and Greece, as well as, of course, partner universities all over the Americas. What does this mean? What am I talking about? Canada, Mexico, Colombia, and of course, the United States. Usually most popular destinations are California, New York, Massachusetts, Florida, and Texas. When I say by paying the same tuition, I mean that there will be no tuition difference, and we're keeping financial aid as well. So if we have students who are interested in psychology, if we have students who are interested in business, they can study business, psychology, both. Doesn't matter to us by paying the same tuition. So, and we'll be talking about financial aid opportunities and tuition and fees at JCU in a second. You'll keep the exact same price, and you'll be able to study at 2-3 different institutions, and especially, right, keeping in mind how tuition and fees, how expensive tuition and fees can be in the United States, right? So something that you'll be able to take advantage of. Now, I was talking about student life, over 20 active student clubs. Something I always say, as a former student, but also now as an admissions counselor, something I will always stress is jump into student life. You know, if you're thinking about joining a student club, or if you're thinking about joining athletics, or if you're thinking about going on that weekend trip, do it. Okay, you will make lasting friendships. You will meet people from all over the world, especially at JCU, and this is something that will change your life. And these are people that you will remember for the rest of your life and many, many years after you graduated. Okay, so very, very important. Let's go into what JCU offers. So we have a little over 20 active student clubs. Two I always like to mention are the JCU Model United Nations Society, as well as the Business Club. Now, let's talk about the first one. The JCU MUN Society, what they do is our student delegates, they travel, they represent countries, they participate in the United Nations simulation sessions. And 2 years ago, I always say last year, but it's already 2021 because 2020 just went fast very, very quickly. So I have to get used to saying 2019, actually 2019. So 2 years ago, our student delegates went to Switzerland and Portugal. They participated in the conference I was telling you about at different universities, different European universities, and they, represented countries. And then last year, this time I am saying it correctly, so before the pandemic hit, so in January of 2020, we hosted the 10th edition of the JCU Model United Nations Conference. What our students did was they organized this completely student-run, a very, very successful conference, and we hosted ambassadors as well as big personalities and other high school and university students coming from Texas, from Spain, from Portugal, from Germany, from all over the world. The other club I was telling you about, it is the Business Club, and disclaimer, I am Italian. So if I'm not talking about food, I'm talking about coffee. So it's usually one of the two. This time I will be talking about coffee. So the Business Club is usually organizes this activity, which is called Shadow a CEO. And 2 years ago, they went to the north of Italy, to Torino, and they visited the headquarters of the Lavazza company, one of the biggest, if not the biggest coffee company in Italy. To understand the business day-to-day operations, they followed one of their representatives around the headquarters, and to also understand what it entails to lead a national company, such a big company that also operates internationally. Just like I said, just to give you a few examples. Now, moving on, athletics. If we have student athletes out there who practice sports, who play perhaps football, basketball, we have tournaments in Rome and all over Europe for basketball, football. When I say football, I mean soccer, the American football, but soccer, but also European football. This is so confusing, right? We also have external agreements for American football. So if you're interested in that, but also tournaments in volleyball, cheerleading, swimming, tennis, and ping pong. So if you're interested in that, definitely jump into those opportunities. And if you are into giving back to the community, plenty of opportunities. We partner with 16 organizations. What our students usually do is they teach English at the International Women's House, they teach English at the International Refugee Shelter, or they participate in this activity, which is called La Ronda della Solidarietà, the Tour of Solidarity, and they feed homeless people in Trastevere with while working with the community of Sant'Egidio. Okay, so like I said, plenty of student life opportunities to jump into. Now, some beautiful pictures of our academic buildings. Let's start with the Critelli campus, which is our latest addition. I would say this is the administrative building, although you can also find, you will find the admissions office. So normally I would be speaking to you from my office in this building. However, today I'll be showing you our, I think it's the slide, yeah, it's actually the next slide, where I'm speaking to you from right now. But like I said, so top right, that is a typical classroom. So 10, 12 chairs for an average of 15 students per class, right? So something I would like to stress. And then we walk for 3-4 minutes, we get to the beautiful Guarini campus. This is where I'm currently located. The courtyard is out there behind those windows. And as you can see, this is the view from one of our terraces. This is where we started in 1972. This building used to be a convent, believe it or not, it is crazy. So to describe the very funny atmosphere, you've already seen the flyer, Study in Italy, right? So I think it's an Italian couple, I don't know, on a Vespa, right? Excited and all that. So to describe the very fun atmosphere, perhaps if you've never been to Rome, if you've never been to Italy, I always say picture cobblestones, pizzerias, coffee bars, loud Italians going, mamma mia, pizzeria, right? So it is a stereotype. I'm Italian, I can say it, I can confirm it. This is the very, very, very fun atmosphere you will find in Trastevere. Top right, that is the Aula Magna. our conference hall where we host our biggest events, as well as other classes. And moving on, we walk from the first building I showed you. We walk for 15, 20 seconds. We get to, so no need for a Vespa, but if you'd like to go to the Coliseum, perhaps you might want to get on a Vespa, so absolutely. And then we walk for 15 seconds. As I said, we get to our Tiber campus where our cafeteria is located. Top left, that is a picture of, that picture was taken before the pandemic. Disclaimer, of course, we don't want to cause any issues. Of course, this was actually from when I was a freshman. So something I always say is when you walk into Tiber Cafe, I consider our Tiber campus to be the beating heart of our university, because you walk into this building, you will hear French, Spanish, Russian, Italian, of course, English, right? So you will really feel the whole international experience and the international community at JCU. So, and of course, over food, right? So that's Italy, combining the best of both worlds. But on Tiber campus, you will also find classrooms as well as other student life offices. Last but not least, Largo dei Fiorentini Art Facility. For our students who are interested in art and design, art history, this is where we offer our fresco painting, sketching, drawing, photography, as well as digital media production courses. This is one of our students. His name is Giggs Cole. He's a South African artist, and he got a full ride scholarship to JCU. We'll be talking about financial aid opportunities in a second. Moving on. Yes, housing. So beautiful apartments, very close to campus. We have 2-3 different housing options. As you can see, Gianicolo Residence, Lungar Apartments, independent apartments, beautiful apartments, very well equipped. As you can see, all of them, kitchen, bathrooms, common living space. There's a fitness center, which is available to all of our students, regardless of where they would like to stay. And you will find it in the Gianicolo Residence, which is the heart of our housing and residential life office. You'll find study rooms, student lounge in each and every housing building. And as you can see, last bullet point, residential life. What is that? There is the opportunity for all of our students to work as a resident assistant. That is free housing, free meal plans. So you could also be living in the Eternal City for free. Now, I can talk about my experience. My first year as a JCU student, I lived in the Gianicolo Residence. My second year, I worked in the Trastevere apartments that are not on the list. I worked as a resident assistant. So like I said, I was studying and working in Rome, but living in Rome completely for free, right? Because as I said, housing, if you're working as a resident assistant, will be given to you, as well as the meal plans. And then my last year, I moved out, my last 2 years, I moved out of JCU housing, and I found my little apartment that I am renting. It's actually the apartment where I'm currently living with other 2 JCU students, and I'm paying €400 per month. Now, something important that you need to know. Is housing mandatory? The answer is no, okay? So if you are interested in seeking independent apartments, we will help you with that. I have found myself working as an admissions counselor. I have found myself adding prospective students, applicants to Facebook student groups. What they do is they post a little announcement. They go, hello, my name is Giovanni. This is my budget. I'm looking to rent a room. I'm looking to rent an apartment, of course, close to JCU. This is another option that will be available to you. And it's very, very easy to make sure this happens. Okay, so feel free to let me know. Moving on, application process. So we've been talking about wonderful things, but how do we make this happen? I'm keeping an eye on the clock. All right. So, application process, we like to think of as a very holistic approach. You will not be judged on one factor and one factor only. Let's go through it. As you can see, there is a list of bullet points. So you will be required to complete an application form. Okay, so you can either apply on a Common App, so in this portal that most international applicants use, or directly on our website. Okay, so you'll be required to do that. We will take a look at at your transcripts, so your high school grades, the courses you've been taking, of course, so that's very, very important, all high school years. We do require 2 letters of recommendation. Those 2 should be academic, so written by your professors. Okay, so usually they'll tell you, what your attitude is as a student, very, very important. A 600-word personal essay when we ask you to talk about yourself, why you think you would be a great fit for JCU. And then Interview by phone, Skype, or in person. I'm usually the one leading the interviews. So hopefully, if I made a good impression today, something I always say is you'll see my face or hear my voice again. Unfortunately for you, I'm sorry. And then proof of English, if you've had enough for today's presentation. But no, we'll be done very soon. I promise I have a couple more slides left. And then proof of English proficiency, unless you've been studying at an English speaking institution for 2 years. If that is not the case, no worries. We do accept IELTS, we do accept Duolingo, we do accept TOEFL, nothing to worry about. So if you have any questions regarding the English language proficiency requirements, feel free to drop them in the Q&A box. And all right, so let's talk figures. Now, 1 year at JCU is 18,000 euro. However, something you need to know, when I was a student, for example, 6 years ago, I wish it was only 5, 6 years ago, tuition fees was 17,000. I ended up paying 5,600, divided into 2 semesters, 2,800, 2,800. Why did it go down so much? Because we have scholarships. Is Giovanni special? No, we have scholarships. We have scholarships that cover 20, 50, 70, and 100% of our tuition and fees. Over 85% of our students receive financial aid. And as you can see, we have need-based and merit-based scholarships. What do I mean by this? You will be judged on your grades, yes, but we will also take a look. We want to see your family's financial situation, and we also want to make sure that you've been very, very involved in extracurricular activities, right? So if you play sports, if you play an instrument, if you've traveled, if you have working experience, we want to know. We want to make sure that our applicants are, very active members in their community. They're well-rounded applicants, and that, of course, that they will thrive at an international community, such as the one you will find at JCU. And something we always proudly say, over $4 million awarded in scholarships and grants per year. So something very, very important. Now, and with this, this is my last slide, actually my second to last slide, because I have one more, but that's for contact information. What happens after JCU? This is equally as important, as the other slides. So what happens after JCU? You graduate from this beautiful, beautiful, and international university in Rome. What happens? You'll be given access to a network of over 10,000 students coming from over 110 countries in the world. And just to give you an idea, that the university, we will help you. Should you be interested in continuing your academic studies at one of the big institutions, whatever you might want to do, or perhaps you are interested in beginning your career, we will also help you with that. Let's take a look at some of the names and numbers on the slide. So if you are interested, we've had our students continue their studies all over the world. As you can see, the big names: Cambridge, Columbia, King's College London, IE Business School Madrid, Georgetown, LSE, London School of Economics, New York University, Oxford. What you don't see on the list: Harvard, Bocconi, Sciences Po, right? So like I said, all over the world, sky is the limit. And as far as employment, I don't know if we have any Scrubs fans in the house, but who has 2 thumbs and graduated in 2019? This guy. I graduated in 2019, so I'm also part of those statistics. But for the class of 2019, so for all of our students who did graduate that year, over 90% of our students had already found employment within 1 year of graduation. The previous year, over 70% of our students had found employment within 1 year, and over 19% had already enrolled at a graduate program, whether a master's or a PhD, okay? So like I said, sky is the limit. All right, now with that, I am done. I know we've already shared the link to schedule an individual meeting with me on, so the Calendly link. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. With that, I would just like to end by saying that, follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. If you use that QR code, you'll be able to sign up for the newsletter. You'll be receiving emails from us Not many, I promise, because I know a lot of people get sick and tired. I know I do of receiving emails. And something else I would like to share. We have now gone viral, so you can also find us on TikTok. It's huge. You will find myself, actually, you'll find me dancing to some interesting songs. But you know, what wouldn't you do for JCU, right? So just to show that this is a community I really, really love. And yeah, so something else I wanted to say, and I promise I'll wrap this up. JCU, something you need to know. Our university was named after an explorer. Somebody, you know, John Cabot, and by the way, we share the same name, Giovanni Cabot. He had to change his name once he started working for the English Empire. But John Cabot, one of the first few explorers to travel to North America in the 1500s. Why am I saying this? Why is this important? Because that's usually the type of student we get. We get explorers who are willing to step out of their comfort zone and have their life changed, of course, in Rome, but hopefully wherever JCU will take them. So that being said, hopefully our explorers, the explorers we're looking for, are out there, and we cannot wait to welcome you in the eternal city in the heart of Rome. Okay, with that, I will end. Hopefully also we get to go in a Vespa, right? So that's the most important thing while drinking coffee and being mamma mia pizzeria. Okay, I'll stop here. Basta, I know we have an outro. I see Mariana has a question. Yes, about the design, do we have to present a portfolio with drawings for application? Mariana, thank you very much for your question. The answer is yes. So because we are interested in the many different things you've been up to, specifically if you are interested in art and design or you know, fresco painting, whatever, yes, please send it to admissions@johncabot.edu, and we would be very, very happy to receive that, okay? Any questions? I don't see any in the Q&A. So my presentation is over. I know you should be able to see the link, and yeah, I'm available. I'll be more than happy to talk to you and to schedule an interview with you. Any questions, you'll find me in Rome, and hopefully you'll get to visit very, very soon. So with that, ciao, basta. I'll stop here. All right.
Yeah, well, we can wait just a few seconds for some questions, but otherwise.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. If, I'm here. I'm not, yeah. Any questions? All right. I see it. Thank you very much, Viara. Is 100% scholarship possible? The answer is absolutely yes. We do have scholarships that cover 100% of our tuition and fees, as well as, like I said, so we have scholarships that cover 20, 50, 70, and 100% of our tuition and fees. How does that happen? When you apply, make sure that your grades are really good. Make sure that you have been involved in many different activities. But like I said, should you not get, I don't want the, you know, tuition and fees or those figures that I showed you that I talked about to scare you. You know, because if you do not end up getting that, you know, 100% and that full ride scholarship, we also have scholarships that will meet you halfway. I know you can also schedule a meeting with our financial aid representatives. You can talk about your family's financial situation, right? So we know because we have to deal with people coming from all over the world, we can be very, very, very understanding. So that's something that we understand, right? So people coming from all over the world, all kinds of financial situations. And I know that was my case as well, right? Coming from the south of Italy. So nothing to worry about. The answer is yes.
No more questions.
No. Giovanni, obviously your presentation was very informative. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I would like to thank the Skylines group. And yeah, so any questions, you know where to find me. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you individually with the Zoom, and feel free to use the Calendly link. Viara, we have another question. Yes. Are all the bachelor programs available in English? The answer is yes, 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 yes. Last time promised. No. Please, please, please ask away. Okay, I'm here. This is my job. I'm here to ask questions. Answer questions. Okay, so absolutely. All the bachelor programs available in English? Yes. All of the bachelor programs are in English. However, something I should have mentioned, we do offer courses in French, Spanish, German, and Italian. For students who would like to learn those languages, to take those classes, we follow the European framework. So from A1 to C2, beginners, experts level, we will help you with that. And our Center for, our Foreign Language Resources Center, we will also provide you with the connections should you be interested in taking courses in Arabic, Russian, Chinese, and Japanese. Okay, so also these are available to you, these languages.
Very good. Well, Giovanni, thank you very much.
Thank
you
you
for this wonderful presentation.
It's been wonderful.
And hope to see you soon in Bulgaria, probably.
I know. Hopefully as soon as possible. I know.
Yeah.
Thank you very much again. Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe.
You too.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.